Hey Pitmasters, welcome to another episode. Today I will show you how to smoke ribs on a kettle grill. So the first thing that we're going to do is talk about the selection of our fuel. We basically have three options: softwood charcoal, hardwood charcoal and briquettes. Softwood charcoal will burn really quickly. Hardwood charcoal will burn slowly and briquettes will burn slow as well. Because we are smoking for a period that is longer than 2 hours, we don't want to use the softwood charcoal. Now if we have to choose between hardwood and briquettes, we know the quality of hardwood, but we don't know the quality of the briquettes. We don't know what's inside this. If you have a briquette producer that you're familiar with and you're familiar with the product, you can use the briquettes. But for now, I'm sticking with the charcoal. That's a safe bet. Now we are going to talk about setting up a grill. We want to have an area with direct heat and an area with indirect heat. Let me draw that out for you. So we're setting our coals on one side. When we light these coals, they create heat. Two types of heat: radiation heat and convection heat. Radiation heat emits in every direction. Convection heat only goes up. Basically, convection heat means hot air. We don't want radiation heat because if we put our ribs over here, then the radiation heat would cook the ribs unevenly. They would be cooked on one side completely and be uncooked on the other side. So we want to create a block. We need to create a barrier here that will no longer allow the radiation heat to come through. So let me show you how we're going to do that. We are going to take a basket like this. Then we'll put in our unlit charcoal. And now we're going to insert our block. Literally a block. A block that blocks radiation, like this. And now if we have radiation heat, it will be blocked by our block of wood. If we leave a little gap of air, we're sure that the wood won't burn too quickly and will just produce a hint of smoke, which is perfect for smoking ribs. There are other ways to achieve the same effect. For instance, using the Griller Cue, which is almost like a professional device. Now let's light up the charcoal. We're going to put in these fire starters. I'm going to put them on one side. We light the charcoal on this side and it will slowly burn to the other side. This way we have a controlled temperature. Now we can add our grill grates. We want a grill grate with a little hinge on the grate, like this. Because in a cook that takes 6 hours, we're probably going to need to add some more charcoal. The fire starters are fully burned up. We're going to put on the lid. We have the top vent in the opposite direction of the charcoal. This will make sure... Wait, let me draw it out for you. Now we've blocked the radiation heat as I told you. All we're left with is convection heat. So the hot air is rising and circulating through the kettle grill. We have our top vent in the opposite direction. So just a little bit of hot air is escaping there. We have our bottom vents set to a quarter open. Fresh air is coming in and it will keep the fire alive. By adjusting the bottom vent and top vent, we can control the temperature. We want to have it set to 110 degrees Celsius, which is 225 degrees Fahrenheit. So to make sure that we have the right temperature, we want to use a thermometer. Of course, we have a thermometer in the lid of our barbecue, but it's right over the coals, so it won't measure the exact temperature. I'm setting my thermometer up in the center of the grill so that we get the average temperature. If you don't have a thermometer like this, just go to the supermarket and get one of those little analog thermometers that you use for your oven. They will do the job just fine. These are baby back ribs. As you can see, they're not normal baby back ribs. Look at the amount of meat that's on there. Doesn't change anything with cooking temperatures or cooking time. We're just going to produce these as we would. First we need to get the membrane off the back of the ribs. I'm using a table knife to get underneath that silver skin. I'm working my way underneath the silver skin, along the bone, to the other side. And then I put my finger underneath and pull up. Clear off, then the other side. See, it's that easy. We are going to season our ribs with a barbecue rub. And in this case I'm using my own barbecue rub, which is Superlicious barbecue rub. To make sure that the rub sticks to our ribs, I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil. And now it's time to sprinkle on our rub. Flip them over and get the rub on the other side as well. Our barbecue has reached a temperature of 110 degrees Celsius, so our ribs can go on. Just to make sure we get that beautiful smoke ring, we're going to add a little bit of apple wood. Open up the hinge, add the smoke wood and close the hinge again. We'll close the lid and let it smoke for 3 hours. Our ribs have been smoking for 3 hours. Let's take them off the grill. Wow, look at that color. That's fantastic. We can clearly see that the ribs have picked up smoke. Now it's time to wrap them. Before we are wrapping these ribs, we're going to add a little bit of texture and flavor. So we'll start with 75 grams of butter, a quarter cup of barbecue sauce, and 3 tablespoons of cane sugar. Now we can wrap them. Make sure you have a tight seal. Close them up at the end. And we'll double wrap just to make sure. The ribs are wrapped and they can go back on the grill. So after 4 hours we need to check on our charcoal. Yeah, even though our barbecue has been running stable, we need to add charcoal to make sure we keep the fire going. And quickly close the lid again. The ribs have been in tin foil for 2 hours. Let's get them off the grill and unwrap them. Well, let's open it up. Let's get these ribs off and put them on the board. Look at all these beautiful juices. Of course we want to save those. Look, we got a nice pull away from the bone. I can already see that these ribs are almost done. So we'll put them on the grill for 1 more hour. To the juices of our ribs, we're going to add a quarter cup of ketchup. We'll also add 3 tablespoons of cane sugar. Give that a quick stir. Now place this over direct heat on the grill. We'll let that slowly warm up, and when it's hot, we're going to brush it onto our ribs. So the way to find out if your ribs are done is to give them a quick poke. I'm taking my thermometer and I'm pressing it. And as you can see, when I'm poking in the meat, it moves with my probe. So that means the ribs are not done yet. So we've been waiting for another 20 minutes. Let's see if the ribs are done now. They're definitely tender now, so let's get them off. There we go. They look beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. So let's slice into this. Look at how juicy this is. Well, there we go. Well, the meat packs a lot of flavor. We got a beautiful smoke ring, and the flavor layers that we build up is just amazing. Since this was the beginning of the season, I just wanted to share with you how to do 3-2-1 ribs. And man, they turned out perfect. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, leave them down below. I'm happy to answer them for you, or one of my regular fans is. And see you guys next time. Until then, eet smakelijk!